at the top by the bridge.
Okay, we're good.
But that's where we've been trying
It's
to,
loading up, but yeah,
it takes like 10 points to get it.
wait 10 seconds and it should be good.
1 point a year.
What was that, Cassie?
Yep, you're up and going.
Okay,
We good to go?
we're good. to
Yep.
go.
All right, we will bring this meeting to order. First off, do we have any public comment since we have people sitting here?
Is this one we would?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes.
All right. So my name is Trent Moore and I coach youth baseball in Lanesburg. This is Alan Dorman. Alan's on the board for the Youth Baseball League. And so he's kind of here just to more or less back me and absolutely and agree with what I say.
So you're the manager, he's the third baseman.
That's it.
There you
That's
go.
it, right,
That's
right,
exactly
right.
right. Except I coach first and second, third.
Yeah. So I've got some notes on my phone here, so please don't take this as being rude. Or anything.
Nope.
I just- So first of all, thank you guys for listening and taking a moment to hear what our thoughts and needs are. We're very, very proud of Bay Scout Park. I get countless comments from parents and friends of what a beautiful setting it is. And, out of all the locations that we travel around to play and other communities, I consider Bay Scout as one of the nicer. Obviously, there's some that have put a lot of money into these organizations. But we understand that, we're a smaller community and with that being said, Bay Scout is a very, very nice ballpark. Along with, picnicking and the other things. My wife and I have 3 boys. My oldest is 20. I coached him through baseball and he's now kind of beyond that. I've got a 13-year-old, a 10-year-old. So I've been able to go through the entire process and then kind of go back to the beginning, and now I'm coaching my 2 younger boys. And it's been a passion. Baseball is one of my true loves. So my wife and I just this past fall or summer realized that we had an opportunity. There's a lot of youth kids that weren't really interested in playing football, that really wanted to continue playing baseball. So we reached out to the Mason Pony League, and they asked us to host our fall baseball league. So we approached the board on it. Everybody agreed that it was a good idea. So for the past 4 to 5 weekends, we've posted double headers on both the U10 and the U12 fields. So with that being said, my wife and the board members thought that, all right, we might as well have the concessions going. So we've brought in almost $1,000 just in the last 4 weekends, just through that. But seeing the park being used, seeing all these different families and kids playing baseball has been really special. We were not able to do a U14 team, partially due to numbers of kids, but one of the big reasons is the field is in very, very poor condition. Infield is in a state that can be fixed pretty easily. Like it's just kind of overgrown with grass, so it just needs to be kind of round up and maybe scraped. And then some new crushed dust brought in. But the outfield is in very, very poor condition. It's almost dangerous. The 2 things, the gophers and ground wolves, always make their ruts and whatnot. But more than that, the elevation is very, very severe difference. So left field is almost 2 foot higher than center field. And then from center to right field is another foot lower. So from left to right field is almost 3 foot difference.
That's not good.
Do
It's
they-
not
What
good.
about drainage then? Is there drainage issues then with that? I mean, is it all going into?
It should
the-
all be draining.
Yeah, it's all going
What I meant, is it all
right.
going in and
One's a
causing
swamp
more-
and other guys.
Yeah.
Causing
Absolutely,
more
yeah,
problems?
it is, absolutely. It's draining, wherever the low spots are is where it collects the water. And, you know, a lot of it's in the infield because you can't really see, you know, those through the grass, you know, where it's collecting, but it needs to be addressed. So we have, through the past, you know, couple months, we've kind of talked about this and, you know, really kind of weighed our options. What should we do? We had a gentleman come out and look at it, and his numbers were astronomical. He just wanted, he quoted it almost $30,000.
Who was that, if you don't mind my asking?
You were there.
I don't remember.
I
What was his
don't,
name?
I apologize, I don't have his name. But since then, so that kind of almost made us step back and rethink, you know, okay, if it's truly gonna be that expensive, do we even put the time into this? Do we do it?
Yeah.
So since then, you know, we've reached out, other parents have said, hey, we'll try this gentleman. So we got a hold of Dan Woodbury. He's a local guy, and he came out and met with us, and he's willing to do it, donate his time in return for a business sign on one of the fences. So, yeah. That's huge.
We were
That's
like,
huge.
Okay.
Yeah, so it basically went from what the first gentleman said would be like a 3 to 4 day process. Dan said, he said, I think if we got, you know, 3 or 4, you know, dads up here along with him, we could do it in the weekend.
Does he do this for a living?
He does.
He does.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So he's licensed and insured. So after Alan and I met with him, you know, it was really, we walked away high-fiving each other and thinking, oh, here we go. All right, we found somebody. So that's the biggest thing. And he's actually willing to do this almost immediately. You know, I talked to Dave about it and I said, all right, what's the process? What do we got to do to just get the ball rolling? And he said, well, coming up here and kind of talking to you guys would be the first step. So along with that, my wife and I own a business. We have discussed it. We'd like to donate putting a home run fence in. The field that we're talking about is field number 1, and it's the northeast field, and it's where the older boys play. So they're 14-year-olds, and only the U12 field has a home run fence, which is very, very special. It's
awesome.
It is. It's really cool for the kids just to know that, hey, I've got an opportunity. If I hit it far enough, I can jog around the bases.
Both our boys got one this season.
Yeah, so.
In practice.
Yeah. So my wife and I, we decided that that's something we'd like to do. When we first thought about that, I wasn't so sure, all right, well, let's go look at the field. So once we went to the field, we thought, all right, well, there's things that need to be done before we can even put a fence in. So, you know, after, you know, having our discussion with Dan, you know, I feel good that he can accomplish what we need done. Now, I'm not 100% sure, you know, there's a process obviously involved, you know, there needs to be grass seed. We've got a gentleman, Pat McLean, who's a landscaper here in town, who said he would donate his time for seeding the field. So after we get the excavation done, we do need to look to see, you know, how the topsoil is, you know, if it's just a good enough shape to where we can kind of transfer it from the one area and spread it out evenly. We will just do that.
Yeah.
If not, there might be a need for some topsoil. Now, with that being said, I don't know if the city, if there's anywhere around, if there's any local farmers or anything that you guys would suggest for just cheap, you know, just trying to do a shoestring budget.
What do you think?
For topsoil,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would check with Woodhull Construction. Mike Smith does a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
that's a good one. Yeah, he's got the,
Yeah,
he's
the
got
pits
the
are
pit.
kind of price.
yeah.
Okay.
And he does a lot of stuff for the city, so.
Okay. All right.
That was a good
I have
one,
a
yeah.
question on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's got topsoil.
So
out there.
obviously you've been around in baseball for a while,
Yeah.
Please
and this
push
would
it
allow
backwards
us
out
to
there.
have the older kids doing this.
Yeah.
Do a lot of other places have signs on there?
They do.
Yeah,
It's
it's very
common.
common.
It is
Very
common.
common.
Yeah.
It's unusual that we don't.
Yeah.
We do have one out on the scoreboard for the U12 field right now.
I'm sorry, this is my eye drops. I'll have to get in it. I have my phone
When,
silenced.
when I first started, the earth was still round then. They did have, at the beginning of each season, because we used to put the signs up.
Okay, so you
Right.
did have them at
Yeah.
one point.
Yeah,
We just don't have any.
And we do have other local businesses that have already agreed to help donate, maybe to offset some of the cost of putting up that fence. Maybe a $300 initial sign charge and then a $200 renewal.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's just an opportunity to bring more money in for the program, so. And, to advertise for local businesses and. And it also creates that sense of pride, that's my business sign out there in the field, so.
Ownership too.
Engaging.
It is.
Yeah.
So if you guys have been up there on a Sunday lately, it's packed. When we're up there, I mean, it's packed from 9 AM till 6 PM. We couldn't even get on our practice field yesterday because people were there past 6, almost till 7.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's been getting you, I mean, it's getting out. And yesterday I was up I teach up in Owasso, and Owasso team was playing here. And one of the coaches up from Owasso was like, I didn't even know about this. He was just so,
Yeah.
how didn't I know?
Yeah.
So it really is making a name for itself. And Trent's what he's not mentioning right now is how much work he's put in the summer, getting the fields ready, the U12 and the U10 fields, bringing up his tractor, rototilling, spreading dust, this isn't something he's just, on a whim.
Mhm.
There's been a lot of hours put in already.
I
It's
think
just that next.
It's so nice. I need to have a passion.
Yeah.
And to be able to give it to
Yeah.
the kids, the
Yeah.
other kids and stuff like that. If we could find everyone that had a passion for
Yeah.
something, how much we could do.
It's really surprising actually how many people are like myself though. Alan's, he's giving me credit here. He's been just as involved as I have, so. There's several younger parents that, they just noticed that, all right, we've got an opportunity for our kids here. Let's put some time into this. So, and along with that field, there's just a few more things that that need to be addressed. The concession stand, and I didn't mention this to you, Dave. I just noticed it this past weekend. When you walk inside, it's like a plywood ceiling, but where the cracks come together, you can start to see where water's leaking through the roof. And you can actually see daylight right through that crack. So I walked outside and I noticed there's 2 vents up on the roof and one is missing its cover.
yes,
Is that on the list?
that's been addressed in one of our.
Okay, all right,
Awesome.
yeah, so that one, that's a no-brainer.
What I do need from you guys though is, can I get a key to that? I don't have a key to get in there to fix anything.
So I don't have a key up.
It's a combination lock, and I can tell you the combination,
Okay,
2020.
okay.
That's easy.
That's
You
easier.
could have just said the date.
It was 1984, for obvious reasons, right? Absolutely good
Getting
year.
close.
Right, and then it became 1985, right, and then it became, the word got out between too many parents, we switched to
Yeah.
2020.
Okay, that works. Yeah, because I noticed it was off, it was addressing one of our things, but I didn't have access to
That's a good point.
assess anything, so.
Have you noticed the restrooms? There's maybe a drainage issue going on, and maybe that's been a long time coming, but.
That drainage issue and that, usually when you guys have ball tournaments, they bring in porta
Yep,
potties.
yeah,
Because what happens is when they go in between innings and hundreds of people go in there and it's flush, well, that's only a 6-inch pipe.
yeah,
And so it tends to.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was in this
Yeah,
weekend, it was maybe a 3-foot puddle around the drain.
Yeah, I was in there Saturday and scrubbed it all down
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, during our normal season, we had the porta bathroom
Right.
Right there.
It- Yeah, when we built them, it wasn't built for the design to take all of them kids, you
Gotcha.
know.
So I think moving forward, we'll just make sure, we'll put that in our budget to have a porta john, sitting somewhere closer to the concessions, just
That's
because.
a good idea too. It's such a long run.
Yeah, I mean, I've had several people. say,
And
"Where's
there's,
the
I don't remember the name of the one we use. We have one at the cemetery.
Okay.
And it's just there year round. And we just call them and we close it down for the winter and they come whack it out.
Okay. Well, maybe that's a thought.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah.
That's with
Um,
American Rental, Dave.
American Rental. Thank you.
Yeah.
The computer's talking to me.
Yeah.
We, I mentioned Ray Cole earlier. He's the U10 coach, and he's been involved a lot with the improvements that we have been doing. He's got a friend who noticed a need for electricity at closer to where the actual fields are. So we have a pitching machine that we use, and we end up, kind of daisy chaining several extension cords to get that out to where it's needed. He has an electrician buddy who said he would do the work. He'd donate his time. We just need to cover the material for it. But it'd be running power from the concession to the U10 field, and then also the U14 field. We already have power to the U12 field
Because of the scoreboard.
because of the
Correct.
scoreboard, But he said he looked into it, and it was like $250 for material, and he'd be willing to do the rest, on his own.
I called Home Depot and they're willing to donate $150 material. Which help offset some of that. And if we could apply for much more, but currently we don't have our, what is it, 501, or if we applied for it in the spring, the nonprofit.
501c.
Yeah, I think so. I think 501c. So we reapplied for, apparently it lapsed. And then we reapplied for it in the spring and we're still waiting.
Right.
So that's why Home Depot can't donate more, and they will only donate more if we've had it for at least a year. So I didn't know if the city had one they could donate to. Where I could apply for a grant.
We do have one.
Lions Club has one.
Lions Club has one as well.
I would have to get with Paula and see where we're at on that. So
Okay.
I don't, there should be an issue for us to buy it or get the donation and send it that way. I mean, it's city park, so.
Right. I just thought if we could get it, and Home Depot, I was talking to the lady and I said, just before you decided what to donate, just look what I've spent there, renovating my home. I honestly, I'm not asking for money I haven't already given you. And she said, we do up to $20,000. Really, we're just looking for people to ask.
Right.
So she said you'd find out within a few weeks even. So again, I don't know if that's just her just talking or, I was a store manager in Okemos. Owasso shut me down.
I got it at Okemos. They gave us Christmas trees one time. for the winter fest.
Did they?
We were buying them and they asked us whether we were buying them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Okemos, they're very nice.
It's super. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, we were spending money.
Yeah, she said, yeah, no doubt, you've been spending some money, right? She said 100, and I said, well, I found some in there all the time. She goes, I'll make it 150 on the spot. So, wow, why? You apply online. And that's when it got, well, you had to have your 501c for at least a year. And since we're still reapplying, we haven't had it obviously for at least a year. So I didn't know if we could apply in someone else's name.
So as far as like,
Find out.
as far as like our initial needs, that really kind of covers it. I think that the routine maintenance, that's one thing that I want to make sure, as we move forward, that we almost, when kids are signed up to play, that we have some kind of a sign up sheet for parents, or make it known, all right, every other weekend we're going to do it, or whatever it may be, that we just make it almost mandatory that there's help.
A little more,
Yeah, from the community.
or there's
For parents.
2 fee rates. If you want to help out, here's the fee rate. If you're unable to help out, here's the fee rate. Something where we just encourage, but if you just can't, you can't.
Yeah,
But there's still an option for you. Something where, and not the baseball world, we'll talk over that more this winter. We have a meeting in October and then we'll have some more coming up, but
but that always seems to be the end of the big battle is just making sure people stay involved and recovering. And if we're investing in this, obviously, the goal is to keep it nice for a long time. So. Well, I think that's about it. I appreciate you guys' time and,
Well, good luck. I
Yeah,
appreciate what you're doing.
yeah, thank you.
I mean,
We're-
I love baseball, so I got my
When-
Tiger shirt
when
on.
you
so-
walked in with that, I said, it both.
So, no,
yeah,
I'm totally supportive.
Awesome.
Um,
So he'll, in case you didn't know the procedure, so he'll bring this up to the board.
Yep.
when we meet.
Okay, and that's October 3rd.
Fourth.
It's a week from
Fourth,
today,
Week
October
one.
4th, okay.
Yeah.
the fourth week from today.
Okay, and if we wanted to get, I obviously probably can't get started till then, we're worried about getting seed in and stuff, so we got a rototill, so let the
Okay.
grass get killed. So do we wait till then to get started, or?
We can't do anything until council approves it.
Okay.
Now, it would probably,
What do you-
it would probably benefit you though, if you were to come to the meeting. Because it's just like this meeting, like this is in miniature, but you're gonna have your public comment then.
Okay.
So then you'd have the opportunity to say it to the full board. Which would probably be beneficial in my opinion,
Okay.
Do we need? to
because
do
it'll
anything-
show the commitment that you gentlemen have,
Yeah.
and that would help.
Do we need to do anything to get it on the agenda then, or is it just a public comment?
Just
then?
during public comment.
Is that all right, Cassie?
Yeah, we gotta clear this.
No, that's fine, but remember, we're at emergency services
Oh,
and
yeah,
we're
you
dealing
took
with the
care
other issues.
I know,
It's gonna be a big, but
Right,
they need to know what they're doing though, too.
correct.
So it'll be a big meeting, but at least you'll know where you stand after that.
Sure.
But yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, we're not even gonna be meeting
7
here. We're
p.m.
meeting at
and
the
7
fire hall.
p.m.
It's a 6 o'clock this time.
Ooh, early.
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause we're meeting at the fire hall. It's gonna be all about the marijuana dispensaries. It's a
Right.
big meeting.
Oh, wow.
Right, we've heard a little bit about that.
So
But I don't see this really being an issue. I
It
mean,
seems like
it's-
a no-brainer.
what were you talking about rototilling?
Well, both excavator guys that we talked to said, it would be beneficial to get the grass, that top
Oh,
layer
yeah,
of grass.
okay,
So as
yeah.
they're pushing,
That will have to
Yeah.
look at the council, so.
yeah. And I think it would just more or less be left field, because, once we get that grass kind of pushed off and that was another thing I was gonna suggest. I don't know if it makes sense to spray it with Roundup prior to. I mean, I don't mind rototilling it the way it is.
It might be easier just to run, because Roundup really takes 7 to 10 days to
Yeah.
really activate, so.
Right. Okay,
All right, well, I think we've taken up the time.
yeah.
Well,
No, thank you.
no,
That's
thank
why,
you.
that's why I asked you
appreciate
guys, because you guys could explain what you want to do way better than I could, so.
You did it.
All
No,
right.
thank you for your time to come down here.
Yeah.
You bet.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Much
guys.
appreciated.
Thank you. Alan, what was your last name?
Dorman, Dorman. I'm new to Lanesburg. I've only been here 20 years, so I'm not one of those people that have been around generationally.
Oh, I've only been here 20 myself, so.
All right.
We're about even.
All right, there you go.
All right,
All
thanks,
right,
guys.
thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your commitment.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, we just gotta bring it up if we're gonna get any help with council.
Correct.
But it seems like a good cause.
Right, onto the heaters for the second and third phase.
Action items.
I think we had budgeted 3,200,
Okay.
and with 2020 being as helpful as it was, everything has gone way beyond that.
I see 4,000 for Tyler.
You know, everybody is 38 to 4,200.
Who's 38? Welcome.
Butler, they're 39.
The second one.
39,991.
And Tyler's 4,000.
Tyler's 4,000.
Which one was last one here from Hightown?
Yeah.
Oh,
they're
42,900.
42, yeah. So at this point, I don't know, my recommendation would be to go with Tyler because
I agree.
they're gonna service it, but I think this should go to finance because there's gonna be a difference in the
I agree. Yeah, we'll take it. We'll move with the finance, but I agree with Tyler too.
I mean, he's gonna be the one servicing the stuff anyway, so.
Well, when they used to take care of us at Boondocks, they were always there. They always took care of everything. And then
And
they would come in and service it, even
correct,
just regular
and
maintenance. without a
everything
call.
is, all three of them are so close. that-
Yeah, I
I
think
just think
Tyler
we
would
should
be the
say
proper
that.
Can I
choice
ask a
on that.
question, or-
Yes,
Okay, I prefer Tyler too, but are we having issues because we can't seem to get him in to do the work that we asked him to do at the library? Is he too
no,
busy?
that is gonna get done. He just went back to full
Okay.
staff. I just got off the
Okay.
phone, so.
All right,
The problem we was running into was it was such a hot summer and he couldn't find people to work. you
right.
know,
I'm
like
just, I know
everybody
those
else,
people
and-
are so busy, so
but
but
no,
he has
they-
time to
he-
do it.
Yeah, he just went back to full staff and so that is on the agenda too.
So take that to finance committee.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, what I'm looking at next,
Truck replacement.
truck replacement, bucket truck and a 3/4 ton pickup. What we're running into is we had 20,000 budgeted for the pickup and 25 for the bucket truck. But what I need is an okay to move forward when we find something. I found one that I really liked. And I wanted to go look at it and it had everything we needed. In 3 days it was gone.
So you have
want it like a-
20,000 for the pickup and 25 for a bucket truck?
Correct, that's what we have budgeted.
Yeah, this one would have been good at 18.
The bucket trucks are still there, but
Okay.
the one pickup that I wanted was gone, but I just need to know from you guys if we're all right to move forward.
So you want it like the MSU thing where you go and get refinanced, you're ready to go, and if you find something, you can actually do it.
Correct, because it's hard, right
Yeah.
now, used trucks that we're trying to find, if they hit the floor, they're gone.
Right.
And it's
So-
hard when I find one at the beginning of the month and I gotta wait till the end of the month to.
Okay, so I'll bring that up.
Like
during the meeting for-
pre-qualified up to a certain point, up to a
Correct.
certain dollar amount.
I'll bring it up at the meeting then for approval to give Dave the authority to do that. But it looks like the bucket truck, you'll be able to get underneath the $25,000
Correct.
budget you get on that.
Correct.
So that should allow you to go
And-
over if you need to on
And
the
a couple
pickup.
of, most of the trucks I'm looking at, I'm trying to stay under that because I have to keep budgeted also to put a plow bracket.
Okay,
Next on the agenda, I need to purchase some equipment for our boat at the Great Lakes. We have to add alum to our ponds this year before we can discharge.
okay.
And I don't have a motor, oars, or a life jackets.
So you need a motor,
You know, and I'm looking at
life jacket.
oars, things that make the boat
Yeah.
usable. And what I'm looking for in a motor is just a battery operated, basically a trolling motor. I don't need to make works.
Okay. You have a price range that you're looking at?
That is,
Couple $100 looks like for the motor.
yeah, the motor I was looking at was a couple $100.
Yeah, 199.
Yeah, you're looking at
What else for the-
about 112 to 115 for the oars and the oar locks. And then about $40 a piece for life jackets. I'm looking at 3 of them, so I have one of each size.
So you had 40 for a life jacket and you need 3.
Yeah,
Okay, and you had 200, this, the 199 for motor.
Yeah.
And what was the other item you needed to come?
the oars and the oar locks.
112.
And you bet how much for that now?
112, 32.
We'll round it up 120.
So 120, so you're looking about right around $420.
Yeah, because you probably don't have sales tax on
No,
this,
no.
so.
I come up with 360, 40, 200, 120. So you want us to ask for 400 or 450,
Let's do 450.
just to make
because-
sure we're,
Make sure we're covered.
You want that to go to finance or go straight to the board?
I
We could probably take it straight to the
think
board.
that can go straight to the board.
Okay.
It's not anything that we budgeted for, so.
Okay,
And then storm damage repairs was the last. I had one back out. One that was supposed to drop a bid off and they didn't, so I ended up with two.
okay.
And both of them pretty much said they would work with the insurance company and keep us out of it, so.
That's nice.
Okay. So we just need approval to have them do it and then they'll go through the insurance.
Correct.
Okay.
And there's two bids there and one of them is from Burnett and the other one is from Sweers. And I am tossed between both of them. They're both good reputable companies, so I will leave that up to you guys.
Well, I'd take your recommend, if you've worked with them, then I
I've
would think
worked
your
with-
recommendation
I
would be
would,
best,
I
because
have worked
you know
with
them
both
better.
of them, and I know Sweers has done a lot of work in town this year, so they're here, there's no mobilization, I would say we just stay with them.
Okay, that was Spears,
Sweers.
Swears. Okay. Oh, the one on top. Okay. Then that's what we will recommend.
And then we'll be done this night, guys, sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
The road construction, the actual road construction is completed. This is just updates for you guys. We have been working with C2AE. They've still got to collect barricades. They've got to get the filter traffic out of the catch basins. There's a few things they haven't done yet. The 89 dump, the older one, we found it's got a leaking cylinder on it. So I'm working on getting prices on fixing that cylinder, replacing the cylinder, or just replacing the bed. Because the bed's starting to get rust spots on it. It's in it is scheduled for replacement. The truck is in 2026.
So you just need to keep it on the
So
road
we're
till then.
just trying to buy time
Yeah.
to get from here to there. So
Keep it alive till then.
the problem we run into is we don't put it's an 89 and we have 40,000 miles on it.
Not many miles, at least.
No, I mean, and they're the 466 diesels, so they're 300,000 mile motors, you know. So it makes it real hard to figure out which way to go. We did have a storm drain malfunction at the Methodist Church on Crum Street. That's been repaired. I had road project. Sorry,
Pardon me?
I had the road project update in there twice.
Okay.
And then I signed Nick up for lagoon testing for this fall, but they have not confirmed the date back with me yet. So,
Okay,
it's in the works.
all right. What is the cost on that?
It was, I can just ask me that, but what do you- it's like $45.
Okay, so I'll just say need $45 for,
It's the.
it's in the
already been-
budget already?
Yeah, it's already been
Okay.
paid. It's-
That's what I wasn't sure about.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
already, that come right out of the SOM stuff, so I have a training fund.
Okay,
And that was all I had.
any comments, Ken? Anything else to bring up?
Made my comments along the way. I'm good.
Okay, and you're all good with everything now?
Yeah.
Well, with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.